I understand that there was one set of notes that you took in your phone call with the attorney on the 2nd of February, and you said you wrote those on your notepad, but you've lost those notes, correct?
There was one set of notes, yes.
You were then asked whether or not you took notes of the meeting on the 3rd of February, and I thought you said that you had lost those notes as well.
No, it was the same piece of paper or notepad, I'm sorry.
Right. So a notepad that had both the notations of the discussion with the attorney and then the notation of the discussion with Professor Triggs.
It wasn't a notepad, it was a couple of pages which I had, it was available after the meeting, just jot down a few points.
Do you remember what you jotted down?
Pretty much along the lines of confirming what I'd said.
So when did you realise you'd lost those notes?
About a week ago, I think.
You didn't look for them prior to a week ago?
Beg your pardon?
When did you first look for them?
About a week ago.
What prompted you to look for them?
Because I'd moved several series of note papers around in my briefcase because of my travels, and I couldn't locate them.
What prompted you to look for them?
Because I just wanted to have them, because I kept them.
For estimates or because there was some media speculation? Was there something external which prompted you to look for them?
No, because I wanted to keep the notes, and that's why I kept them in the first place.
So you took the notes overseas?
No.
Sorry, I thought you said in response... Sorry, can I finish the question? That might be easier. I thought in response to one of my colleagues, you said you went overseas as part of your explanation for why you'd lost the notes.
Yes.
Right.
But I did not lose the notes overseas. As far as I know, I'd kept the notes somewhere.
Sorry, go on.
I kept the notes somewhere where I haven't been able to locate them.
I don't understand the connection between going overseas and losing the notes unless you took them overseas. So if so, can you explain it to me?
No, I've been trying to find those notes.
No. Well, I'm asking you to explain your answer. You said, as part of a response to a question about the notes, that you'd lost them, and as part of that answer, you proffered the explanation that you'd gone overseas. You're now telling us I didn't take them overseas, so I'm trying to work out the connection between going overseas and losing the notes, which you drew.
Because if I have material which I have in a briefcase or in folders, I'd leave material that I don't need for my travels. I'd leave them somewhere behind in Australia. Unfortunately, I can't locate these notes.
But you're saying you didn't take them overseas?
Correct.
Well, how do you know that if you've lost them?
Because there'd be no reason to take them overseas.
Well, there's no reason to lose them either.
Correct.
Oh, good.
Do you often lose notes?
No comment.
No, do you often lose notes?
Sometimes I do, but I usually don't.
I mean, I assume that the requirement would be for officers in the department, you would take notes of important meetings. I mean, it's a meeting with a statutory officer in which you're indicating to the officer that the attorney doesn't have confidence in her and you're offering her another job. You reckon that might have been something you'd want to keep notes of?
Yes, I did keep notes.
Well, no, you haven't.
But I haven't been able to locate them.
You didn't keep notes. You took notes, but you've lost them.
Thank you. Yes.
Sorry, thank you.
That's your assessment, yes.
Well, I'm giving you the opportunity. You provide me with a different assessment.
I took notes, as I said this morning, I took notes of my discussion with the attorney. After my discussion with Professor Triggs, I annotated those notes, and I put them aside and have not been able to locate them since.
Did you discuss your conversation on the 2nd of November with the attorney in which his lack of confidence and the offer of another job was raised with you? Did you discuss that with any other officer of the department prior to your discussion with Professor Triggs?
Yes, I had a discussion with my deputy, Mr. Fredericks.
When did you have that discussion?
On the day I had the call from Senator Brandis.
How long after the discussion?
I can't recall. It would have been soon thereafter.
What did you tell him?
Pretty much what I've been asked to convey to Professor Triggs. And then I was travelling to see her tomorrow.
Mr. Fredericks, did you take notes of your discussion with the Secretary?
No, I didn't.
Can you tell me what the Secretary told you in that discussion?
In essence, Senator, it's what the 3 points that the Secretary has conveyed in his previous evidence.
Was the word resignation used in that conversation?
It wasn't.
And after your discussion with Professor Triggs, Did you have a conversation with anybody? Oh, sorry, apart from Mr Fredericks, did you have a discussion with any other member of your department?
No.
Did you have a conversation with anybody else?
No.
I assume she means about this issue. I'm
Sorry.
sure you've had some conversations
I took that as meaning
with your
that,
family and different things.
And in relation to the meeting with Professor Triggs, did you have a conversation with anyone after that meeting?
I had a discussion with, as I said, with the attorney. Very quick discussion.
Right. And yes, I'm sorry, I was watching this, but I think I took a phone call in my office while I was watching this evidence. Can you just remind me what you say, the conversation with the attorney?
It's on the record. I can't recall exactly what I said. It was a very short discussion.
Right, but you informed him that she'd said no?
Pretty much, yes. The attorney rang me. He asked me if I had a meeting. I said yes, and I conveyed the points, and that the president was remaining as president, was my assessment.
Sorry?
And that the president would remain as president.
Who said that?
I did to the attorney.
I'm sorry?
I did to the attorney,
So you told the attorney that the president would remain as the president?
yes.
Now you say that you...
And I might have spoken to Mr Fredericks about this as well.
Right.
After the discussion.
So when you lean back, Mr Moriatis, I'm
Sorry,
it's just a bit hard
I
to hear.
had a discussion with Mr Fredericks after my meeting with Professor Triggs to
Right.
debriefing on my discussion.
Okay.